Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our Survivor 42 Episode 2 review. I cannot find my glasses. Have you seen my glasses? I told you I buried the glasses right in between these two different roads. Where are they? What is Mike? Mike, you are a man among legend. Yes, my glasses were much easier. How do you not remember where you bury the hidden immunity idol clue that you find?
Maybe all trees and rocks just kind of look the same out there.
This is one of the funniest things. I love Mike. There's a very sadistic part of me that kind of wishes that Mike just never found it. And for the rest of the game, he's just like trying to remember where he had this big Survivor achievement that just blows up in his face.
No, it's better that he found it because we had all the shenanigans that came along with it. And I think some pretty smart gameplay.
There's some pretty smart gameplay. I have some opinions about the gameplay at the end of this episode as well. There is a lot going on in what is the most pseudo-romantic episode of Survivor I think we've had in a while as well.
But before we get into that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're here every Wednesday talking about Survivor. We're also covering NCIS and Blacklist and Snowfall, Power. We've got Killing Eve. There's a lot going on here at the channel. So hit that subscribe button. Follow us over on Instagram, Matt and Jess TV.
All right. I am getting on, my metaphorical boxing gloves here to prepare for what's going to happen to me in the comments for saying what I'm going to say right here.
Okay.
Everyone at the Taku tribe, the Orange tribe, y'all made a mistake. You should have gotten rid of Marianne. I am 1,000,000% confident in saying this. And I'm not saying this because I dislike Marianne, Marianne's much better television, I think, than Mariah based on what we saw. However, we saw Marianne just completely going all over the place, scrambling, looking for idols.
Okay, to be fair, most people, if they think that they are going home, Marianne did exactly the right thing, scrambling, looking for an idol, because her only other option was to hope that she ended up with this extra vote or the shot in the dark or that maybe somebody would keep her. I think she did the right thing. If I thought I was going home, I would be out there looking for an idol. Hey, what are you doing over there? You're looking for food? No, I'm looking for an idol because you guys are all going to vote me out.
Okay. You are absolutely right. It is the right thing to do. I don't want people who are doing the right thing. I want people in the game who are doing nothing, who are making mistakes, who think that they're safe, who think that they're comfortable. And I'm not saying Mariah didn't do any of that. Like, she might have done a lot more scrambling than we even saw on the show. But it just looked to me like Marianne was like 1,000 times more paranoid. And I don't want to play with the paranoid people. I am the paranoid person. I want to be the craziest person on my tribe at any given moment so that I'm not afraid of what anyone else is doing.
The problem is Marianne had the right to be paranoid.
It was
between two people, and she was one of them. So, I mean, if she wasn't, and she was really like part of something that was more solid, would she be acting paranoid then? I don't think so. She strikes me as the type of person that if she feels like she's on solid ground, then she's on solid ground.
I know it is also very, very easy for me to just sit here and spout off and saying this without actually being on the tribe, because we also saw, Jonathan tell us in confessionals, I like Marianne. Marianne is a really cool person. And he's just like doing, and so he didn't say he connected with Mariah. And maybe that is sort of a component to what is going on here.
Yeah, I think that really matters, because if you haven't connected with someone, you don't really know where they stand, then they're kind of dangerous.
I have another hot take here.
All right, here we go.
I actually like Jonathan. And I say this as I was prepared to just make fun of him for the entirety of the time that is on the show with his enormous muscles and his ridiculous shirts and his of course he works at like a beach store and he is like ultimate muscular surfer bro times 2000, but he's actually kind of funny. And this is my impression of Jonathan during that blindfold challenge. Everyone lower the volume in your speed. No, I'm joking. I could not understand a single word he was saying.
I completely understand why he switched to that because there were so many people. Everybody's yelling. Jeff is yelling. I'm like, Jeff, shut up. Like, these guys are all trying to get out with, even he knew it. He's walking around, he's like, so-and-so's yelling, so-and-so's yelling, I'm yelling. Yeah, you're yelling, Jeff. Can you just stop yelling? We don't need to hear you. But with all the people that were yelling, I noticed that Jonathan changed the pitch of his voice in the middle of it to really lower it, which I thought was a really smart move to make his voice as distinct as possible coming out there.
Jonathan sounded like an angry bear lost in the woods, waiting to find his friends again, just being like, where are my friends?
I know, no, listen, I wasn't sure if I was going to like Jonathan or not, but there's something kind of wholesome about him that I really ended up connecting to. I don't know, I like him. And I like his relationship with Omar. There's something just really wholesome about the two of them together and just the way that Jonathan was explaining it. He's like, I'm really good at some stuff. Omar's really good at stuff that I'm not good at. And together we make one whole person. I was like, oh.
It's okay. I love that segment. I love the two of them. They give me a little bit of like JT and Steven vibes, but I do have to say this. Omar's comment about never using the bathroom in a certain way until he was like 22 or whatever. Batman would never be able to get that information out of me. Nobody was ever getting that information. I am not admitting to that on national television.
No, that is a lot of it. Nobody needed to know that information. No, I don't think anyone was asking for that information. You can keep your bathroom habits a little more to yourself. It's okay.
Yeah, Omar, I still love you, but there is this tribe, the Orange Tribe needs to just be the oversharing tribe because we have
Yeah.
Omar talking about his bathroom habits. We have Marianne talking about literally everything that comes into her mind at any moment in time.
Including her crush on Zach.
Okay, here's the funniest thing about all this. If Marianne had gone home, I wouldn't mean this to be mean, but there would just be so many easy jokes now about Marianne and Zach being on like the pre-jury trip together, getting to spend like all these weeks where their love story could blossom. Wouldn't it be hilarious if nobody told Zach about this at all, and he's just watching the show tonight and he's just like totally shook by this?
He very well might.
It was, okay, I do feel for Marianne. It's like she brought up the Zach crush. She also compared like tribal council to a first date or something like that. And do we need to get Marianne on a reality dating show after Survivor is over?
No!
She's too wholesome.
She is too wholesome. Those shows will just eat her up and spit her out, and I do not want that happening to her. She is too good for this world. She does not need to be on the next Bachelor.
No. Especially not this past season.
No.
I will say this. It does seem like Marianne, and I mean this in the nicest way, it seems like she is a lot when it comes to being on a tribe with her for a large period of time. Like, I can occasionally go up to like an 11 for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes in these videos, but I'm pretty sure I'm not an 11 like any other point in the day.
Matt can go to an 11 or seldomly, and that's a lot for me. I'm a pretty laid back person who, I'm all right socially for a short period of time. I'm an introvert. I don't like to leave my house, which is why I would never be on Survivor. But watching Marianne from over here, I'm like, if I was on a tribe with Marianne, I would have a really hard time.
Yeah, it's just, she is the opposite, I think, of both of us in a lot of ways, personality-wise. And, it's fun watching her. I'm glad that she is still there. And, okay, now we talked about the end of this episode. Let's go all the way back to sort of the early days of this episode with everything that is going on with Drea, who it has been established we both really like.
This is the fastest I have ever seen a girls' alliance come together and fall apart. So she decides to tell Swati and Tori about her advantage. Like that, afterwards we have Tori and Swati talking, and she's just like, we gotta get rid of her. she's got to go. She's got this advantage. It's not a good thing that she's around. And Swati's not wrong. She's absolutely right. She's got to go. But I was just like, wow, that alliance just like, don't even take a minute to think about it. It's right away be like, we gotta get rid of her.
Yeah. And we've already established Drea's got like a war chest of all this various stuff that she just got from the premiere. Like, she is a huge threat. But I mean, this is such a recurring theme, and this is something that,
yes,
if you're on Survivor, I understand. You're probably bored a lot. You probably just want to talk about things with people, and you probably convince yourself in your head, it's okay if I tell this person who's also out to win $1 million a very, intimate and intricate part of my game. They won't go and stab me in the back. And it feels like, I don't know, 8 times out of 10, they probably will.
It is day 5.
Yeah.
Day 5. There is not enough of a connection yet to be telling anybody what you have. Wait some time. Figure out who's really with you or not. I mean, we've seen people sail all the way to the end, like last season, sitting on an idol. And it really was sort of this idea of like, why didn't anybody flush that out? Now, this season, everybody's flushing everything out straight away. Swati's like, nah, that's not happening. This advantage got to go. And then Mike decides to tell Daniel about his as well, and right away Mike's like, hey, listen, I have this. Daniel's like, oh, good. Listen, don't play it right away. I think it would be better to wait till everybody, more of an idea if everybody has it or not, and just sit on it a little while. Okay, I'm gonna sit on it. Then right away, Daniel's just like, no, he can't play that idol. He either has to not play that idol or he gotta go.
This is such this is such a fun just turnaround from what we saw with these ridiculous password idols last season, because this is interesting. Because what if now Mike's just going to be sitting around and he knows that there's these stupid sayings, and the moment that he hears somebody else say, a stupid saying at Tribal, that's obviously going to tempt him. But then, because Daniel, as you just pointed out, has this strategy he sort of worked out, he could sort of take that as the cue of, okay, now is the right time to get rid of Mike before these are activated, because now we know that somebody else has one.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, though, is for me, if I was Daniel, I would just be getting rid of Mike. I'm not going to wait until somebody else is talking about broccolis being small trees, and then all of a sudden Mike is like, also soccer, right? So that's the thing about it, is it's kind of like Daniel's got one foot in on the right thing to do, but really for me, the right thing to do is, he's got an advantage that's going to get activated at some point, then we really need to not sit on that, because it could just get activated, and now, oops.
Mike, I have some advice for you. Stay off of Twitter for a little while, because the soccer fans, they're coming. And they're coming for you hard. Listen, there is I know soccer, or football, as you may call it, may be more popular overseas, but I have met some American grown-up soccer fans. These people, a lot of them are they feel very, very slighted by everyone else saying that soccer is not as good, and they will get on you in the blink of an eye. You're done, Mike. I'm sorry. You need to just get rid of social media before the soccer army comes for you.
He'll be all right. He feels like he's tough.
See, this is the thing that's interesting to me about all of this, because yes, I think you are absolutely right. If I knew that somebody had one of these things, I don't care when it's activated or not activated. It is something they can put over on me, and I would want them out. And this is let's just go completely crazy for a moment here. Is Mike being completely oblivious as to how to hide an idol? Like, does this help him? Because does this make him look so inept that he's never going to be able to figure out how to use the idol properly in the first place, that maybe he's not going to be a threat anymore?
He's got to go. No absolute way. If I was ever on the show, if I'm on the show with you, don't tell me you have something, because if I know you have something, you're now my target. Because once you're out, then that thing might come back into play so that I can have it. You're not going to give it to me. It's very unlikely. Like, yes, it happens, but it's real unlikely. So I need you to get out.
I also Survivor would never do this, by the way, but it did make me wonder, what if somebody else could move the place that you hid your idol? And what if, like, Daniel moved it somewhere else, and then Mike couldn't find the idol again, and he never suspected it was Daniel? He just knew he doesn't know how to hide an idol particularly well.
I don't know. That seems like kind of a sketchy move. I would be worried if I was Daniel and I moved it.
Yeah, no, I don't even think he could do it. I don't know. The thought just sort of entered my mind. But this tribe that we have, Mike and Daniel on. Vati, I believe we're still in like the figuring out the names of the tribes. This is the weirdest tribe to me because like they haven't lost anyone. We don't really know where anyone stands, but just like the one character thing I found really fascinating on this tribe was Hai basically being out there as a vegan, having to try to figure out what to do with no rice. And I think a lot of people out there probably like, well, he should have known that when he signed up for but it's like back when Hai, applied for this show, I know Jeff Probst has said it on the show, they didn't see Survivor 41. So I'm sure he thought there was going to be rice. He thought there was going to be something else for him to eat.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think anybody should really be giving him crap over that because him as a vegan, I'm sure was like, well, I'm going to have rice and there's going to be like fruit around that I'll be able to have. So I'll be just fine. The minute that, they take away rice, then there really isn't enough there. And he is kind of stuck in that spot. So, I felt really bad for him because I'm sure he went into this feeling like, okay, I'll be able to deal with my dietary restrictions. It would be like I have celiac disease. So it would be like, oh, this season we've decided not to give you rice. Instead, everybody gets loaves of bread. Then I'd just be like, oh, God, I just need to get voted out or voted to the hospital. And that was the other thing about Hai having to eat meat too. If you haven't eaten something in a really long time, and then you eat that thing, you are likely to get sick. I had a friend who was vegetarian, hadn't had meat in years and years and years, ended up having chicken at one point and got so ill, like just so ill. So, I mean, how's he going to be able to really digest this? I don't know. I don't want to know, but it's a thing.
If Hai was on the Orange Taku tribe, we would know because he would then overshare along with everyone else on that tribe. Now, overall, it's still really early in this season, and obviously there's still like too many twists and too many things to kind of keep track of, especially the shot in the dark, which, by the way, still has not worked for anyone. We've seen Zach, both Mariah try it so far this season, pretty much nothing.
Yeah, I think the odds are just too low.
The odds are too low. There's still too much going on, but this is a season that does have some promise, and it does feel like, while Probst did not learn from his mistakes between seasons, mostly because no one was there to correct him and we hadn't seen it, at least these players look like they're doing different things with some of those twists, and we have different angles, different approaches, and that should be fun.
I just love that there are multiple people that are not putting up with these advantages, that are finding out about advantages and are just like, no, get out now. Like, I'm not having it. And that's the way I know that you can play with people that have advantages, and maybe it might be an advantage to you too, sort of, kind of, but like if I was playing, no.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Just listening to our fun discussion about this crazy episode of the show. But we will be back discussing every episode of Survivor this season. We don't want you guys to miss that. Plus, Killing Eve, Snowfall. This is us. So much great stuff. Follow us on Instagram at Matt and Jess TV, and we will see you here next time.